Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER One News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER One News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER One News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER One News. I'm Alan Troop, reporting news from around the Columbia Basin for Tuesday, November 19th. Tonight, we report on the hearing date to determine if 15-year-old Nathan Brooks is to be tried as an adult, and charges are filed against a man arrested for robbing 2 Moses Lake gas stations. In sports, Bob Kirkpatrick reports on WSU football coach Mike Leach's contract extension and the Wenatchee Wild. Our spotlight story tonight is about Warden's first train of canola seed delivered to the new processing plant. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER One Weather Center. Our top story tonight, the hearing to determine whether Nathan Brooks will be tried as an adult is scheduled to start December 11th. Brooks, a 15-year-old Moses Lake boy, is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder in the first degree in Grant County Juvenile Court. The hearing is scheduled to take 2 days and will be heard by Douglas County Superior Court Judge John Hotchkiss. According to the Moses Lake Police, Brooks is accused of shooting his parents as they were sleeping on March 8th when he was 14 years old. The boy allegedly sneaked into his parents' bedroom and began shooting, hitting his father once and his mother twice. Chris Vasquez, a 20-year-old Moses Lake man, was charged with 2 counts of robbery in the first degree in Grant County Superior Court. He is accused of robbing 2 convenience stores in 2 days in Moses Lake. Vasquez and a second suspect were leaving a party to celebrate the second suspect getting out of rehab when Vasquez allegedly showed the other man a revolver and said he was going to rob the Toad's Astromart store. According to Moses Lake Police, surveillance video reportedly shows Vasquez approach the store and go inside. He reportedly held the clerk at gunpoint with a revolver, demanded cash, and fled with $330. The next night, Vasquez and the second suspect reportedly went to a West Broadway Avenue Chevron gas station. Vasquez allegedly used the same gun, but had switched his sneakers. The second suspect was carrying a nickel or chrome revolver. An informant reportedly linked Vasquez and the second man to the robberies. Vasquez's family members also identified him from pictures published in media reports of the robberies. For more information, visit us online at iFIBER1/news. 2 brothers were arrested for allegedly stealing 1,100 feet of wire from a Warden area farmer. The farmer reported someone stole the wire, valued at about $4,600, from an irrigation circle. Grant County Sheriff's deputies arrested brothers Cody Cole, a 27-year-old man, and Taggart Cole, a 24-year-old man. The brothers were both arrested on charges of criminal trespassing in the 2nd degree, theft in the 2nd degree, and possession of stolen property in the 3rd degree, and malicious mischief in the 3rd degree. Cody Cole faces an additional charge of trafficking in stolen property in the 2nd degree. Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the DLC asks that you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We will be back after these messages with the latest from our iFIBER One Weather Center, sports, and more news.
A massage at Not Released Therapies is far more than mere luxury. We strive to improve your health and well-being in the process. The stress of everyday life adds up and can cause depression, even bodily harm. That's why our professionals make it their mission to rejuvenate your body and mind. Enjoy the benefits of body wraps, sunless airbrush tanning, aroma steam therapy, and much more. In our opinion, everyone deserves a day of relaxation and peace of mind. Not Released Therapies in Moses Lake, where relaxation means good health.
Looking for that authentic Philly flavor? Come down to Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things and try our mouthwatering cheesesteak sandwiches, prepared fresh and served hot. Make sure to pair it up with our classic wings, ranging from sweet and tangy to hot and spicy. East meets west at Nia Carson's. We provide Moses Lake with that authentic Philadelphia taste. Bring the whole family. We promise to make them something they'll all enjoy. Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things. Good service, great price, and something different.
Well, hi there, everybody. Meteorologist Don Morelli with you here on iFIBER Channel 1 News. Your weather forecast overnight tonight through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. The big news is a chill is developing. Probably already felt it, especially the northern viewers today. Colder for a few days, but then a little bit milder as we slide into the weekend, and the next precipitation threat is about 7 days away at least. Maybe next Tuesday we'll start talking about a little precipitation. Until then, it's actually going to be rather quiet in the old weather department here in iFIBER Channel 1 News Weather Center. 57 degrees this afternoon, and actually it was more like the mid to late morning hours was the warmest part of the day. Winds shifting to the northwest and north right now and bringing the cooler temperatures. 40 the overnight low. That hundredths of an inch of precipitation was just before midnight last night. Didn't have much in the way of precipitation since the midnight hour. Also in Moses Lake, similar story, a hundredth of an inch of precipitation. 59. I think that was about a 11 o'clock temperature a.m. It was around the noon hour, I think. 45 degrees was the morning low. Look at the daytime high, should be 44, so even the morning low was above that because we have a little bit of clouds and that southwest wind really kicked in around the midnight hour. Temperatures actually held steady or rose most of the night. Well, we're falling now with the temperature, 46 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and the breeze, as mentioned, shifting to the northwest, a little gusty. In fact, speaking of the winds, they were up to 40, 50 mile an hour at times with that southwest ahead of that front, so a little blustery. You can see the past 24 hours of moisture moving on through, and as the storm moves on through, again, clockwise winds around us, so once it kicked to the east, our winds shifted to the north. But until then, boy, it was blustery and quite mild. But here we go, overnight tonight, clearing skies will continue. All the moisture moving on off towards the south and east. This moisture toward the north and west will stay away, so we're looking for clear skies. For the most part, the next couple of days, it's just going to be darn right chilly. Temperatures in some areas could be in the teens to wake up to in some of the mornings. So again, get ready for a bit of a chill. By Saturday, though, we'll start seeing a southerly wind return and temperatures will start moderating just a bit. But statewide, generally in the 40s in western areas with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Look at the temperatures, only in the 30s in the northwest, low 30s at that, and then Columbia Basin. We're looking for, again, a sunny day, but still pretty chilly. Normally 43, 44 the daytime high, so a little bit below the seasonal levels. And will remain below seasonal levels for the next 3 days, it looks like. But look at those morning temperatures, especially Thursday morning in the teens. But then we see a little warm up before we see some clouds and moisture coming on back by the early portion midweek next week. But until then, pretty quiet. Again, your forecast brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Stay tuned. Sports is next.
6 years ago, my dad began having issues with headaches, sore throats, and constant fatigue. He tried treating the problem with over-the-counter medications and lots of caffeine. Finally, he talked to his doctor who confirmed our suspicions. Dad had sleep apnea. He didn't like the idea of using a CPAP, but after trying it one night, he was convinced. We found everything he needs for a much better quality of life at In-Home Medical.
If it's metal, we buy it at J&K Recycling, from junk cars to farm equipment and everything in between. We are looking to buy industrial and construction equipment, iron and steel, copper, brass, or aluminum. We buy scrap metal of any kind. We can come to you to clean up your junk so you don't have to. Give J&K Recycling a call today. Remember, if it's metal, we buy it.
Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's sports. Washington State has given head coach Mike Leach a 2-year extension, ensuring that he'll be at the helm through the 2018 season. Leach has led WSU to a 5-5 record in his second season as the Cougars prepare for Saturday's game against Utah in Pullman. That's the most wins for the Cougars at this point in the season since 2006.
With 2 games left in the regular season, the Cougars are just 1 win shy of qualifying for a bowl game. They have not played in the postseason since 2003. Leach was hired prior to the 2012 season and signed a 5-year contract that paid more than $2.2 million per year, plus incentives. He is the highest paid coach in Washington State history. Hall of Fame announcer Bob Robertson is in his 47th season calling Cougar football games, and according to a nationwide survey of sports information directors, is the longest tenured radio announcer in the country, with the next closest being Bill Hillgrove, who has announced 44 straight seasons at Pitt. The University of Washington is preparing redshirt freshman quarterback Siler Miles to make his first college start against Oregon State, with the status of Keith Price uncertain. Washington coach Steve Sarkisian said Monday the Huskies will prepare Miles to be the starter against the Beavers, but are holding out hope Price will be able to play. Price injured his right throwing shoulder in the second quarter of last Friday's loss to number 14 UCLA and was unable to return to the game. Sarkisian said Price will not try to practice until Thursday, at which time the coach will decide on a starter. Sarkisian said Price does not have structural problems with his shoulder and that his ability to play will depend on how well he tolerates the pain. Well, Chuck Knox never did it. Neither did Mike Holmgren, Tom Flores, or Dennis Erickson. But Pete Carroll has. Carroll is the first coach in franchise history to lead the Seahawks to consecutive 10-win regular seasons. The Seahawks reached double-digit victories for the second straight year on Sunday with a 41-20 drubbing of Minnesota. The Seahawks improved to 10-1 and head into their bye week with the best record in the NFL. It's the latest point in any season in franchise history that the Seahawks have held the best record in the entire league by themselves. Carroll continues to say the Seahawks are going to get better, and he's right, as Seattle welcomed back 4 starters back to the lineup in Sunday's victory and played Percy Harvin for the first time. Harvin made an impact in his season debut, returning a kickoff 58 yards late in the first half to set up Russell Wilson's 19-yard touchdown pass to Doug Baldwin. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's important at Eagle Home Mortgage is taking care of our clients, being honest, and doing loans full of integrity.
We understand that every borrower's situation is unique. We offer a variety of products to help meet individual requirements.
What sets us apart is that we get things done, and we get things done at a fast pace. It doesn't take days and days. Se habla español.
Are you worried that your home might not meet today's safety standards? Eastern Washington Home Inspection standards for home safety are among the highest in the industry. We provide the highest level of inspection service and provide a detailed report with digital photos of any structural damage or other problems that might make your home unsafe. Our head inspector, Dennis Chamberlain, along with his son Cody, are fully qualified inspectors who make your safety their priority. We inspect for your peace of mind. Call us at 509-347-6425.
Our spotlight story tonight is about Pacific Coast Canola's first shipment of canola seed in Morden. Here with the story is Jeff Chu.
116 rail cars carrying 33 million pounds of canola seed recently pulled into Pacific Coast Canola in Warden. It was the first major load shipped more than 1,300 miles from the North Plains to the West Coast's first and only seed crushing and oil refining facility. The product was shipped west via Burlington Northern Santa Fe, then Columbia Basin Railroad from Connell in Franklin County. Columbia Basin Railroad spokesman Patrick Boss said the shipment for Pacific Coast Canola in its first year of production was a significant step forward. Video footage of the railway haul was provided courtesy of Columbia Basin Railroad.
It's one of the largest trains that's ever been brought up. This line, this short line, which goes from Connell through Warden and up to Moses Lake. And so what it really does, it establishes the Columbia Basin Railroad line as a line that can handle large quantities of product, and shows that we can, a place like Warden can attract companies like Pacific Coast Canola that need a lot of product. Huge train, almost a mile long, and we're going to see a lot more of those coming in here. So rail is really significant for these companies to locate in places like Warden, Washington. It's a rural community. It's got a lot of great infrastructure, but the rail was the key to getting Pacific Coast canola here. And frankly, having the ability now to bring in millions and millions of pounds of canola seed will help them grow and hire more people.
Port of Warden Commissioner Dale Pomeroy, who worked closely to help form the port business and railroad partnership, said at one point he thought the canola plant project would be lost in the post-2007 economic decline. Now, he said he sees it as a catalyst that will attract other large companies which will ship product in and out of Warden via Columbia Basin Railroad.
It's good for the local communities because once we start the unit trains, it's not only going to be a good plus for this particular Pacific Coast canola, but we got other companies wanting to move into our area, and if they know that we can have unit trains or even 50, 60 cars, it's a huge impact on agriculture for taking wheat out, taking product out, and bringing product in.
The port leased the property to the canola processor. The big canola shipment is just one indicator of industries prospering with the aid of a local railroad company, boss said.
Last year, about 10,000 carloads of product came out of this area that were shipped to and from this area. So it's a very vital short line that connects up all these communities in the Columbia Basin. It should result in, at least this year, a couple thousand carloads of product coming in. Probably in the next 2 to 3 years, we'll see up to 4,000 carloads of canola seed coming in here a year.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
And we will be right back after this.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Good food, cold beer, and plenty of entertainment. That's what Sporty Steakhouse is all about. Open 6 a.m. every day. We offer over 100 reasonably priced menu items with 24 different ice-cold beers on tap and a wide variety of spirits. Come in with your favorite group, watch the game on our big screen TV, shoot pool, play shuffleboard, and more. We have live music and DJs, so find us on Facebook for upcoming events. Located on East Broadway Avenue in Moses Lake. Sporty Steakhouse, where good friends meet.
In Northwest News, the trauma surgeon at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle is testing Google Glass in the operating room. Dr. Heather Evans is one of 8,000 people selected by Google to explore uses for the device because of her interest in using it during operations and as a teaching tool. It's like wearing eyeglasses with a display that gives users connections to the internet where they can find information or stream video. Evans told the Seattle Times she's excited by the potential, but concerned with technical issues. She says it's almost impossible to use Google Glass while concentrating on a patient. A small earthquake was reported near Richland yesterday, but there have been no reports of any damage. The U.S. Geological Survey says the magnitude 3.2 quake hit about 8 miles north of the city at 6:47 a.m. The Tri-City Herald reports that the quake appeared to be in the same area as a 3.4 magnitude quake that some residents reported feeling 2 years ago, and where swarms of little earthquakes occurred in 2009, 1988, 1975, and 1970. Pacific Northwest National Laboratory officials have said the fault there is about 300 by 300 feet and likely less than a mile deep. Because of the thickness of the basalt rock layer at that depth, there's a limit to the magnitude of the quakes produced. The USGS reported Sunday's earthquake at a depth of about 325 feet. The Department of Energy is conducting an updated assessment of the danger of an earthquake at Hanford Nuclear Reservation. Biometric security is becoming reality among Americans. Here's with the story is the Associated Press.
Employees at this KFC in West Lafayette, Indiana, no longer need a password to sign into their cash registers.
They come in and they put their finger on a fingerprint mechanism, and it just automatically clocks them in.
Biometrics, once considered a far-fetched technology, is becoming an everyday reality. From signing onto your phone, accessing your bank account, to entering a secured room, Your unique features are the key to unlocking anything worth safeguarding.
We want to protect our privacy and also be able to make sure that we don't have fraudulent transactions. We'll see the use of biometrics in that area as well.
Biometric researchers at Purdue University say human traits such as your iris, fingerprint, face, and voice provide that extra level of security beyond numbers and letters.
I think the average person would tell you they have too many passwords and it's a hassle to change them all the time, and therefore they use the same passwords for lots of things, which inherently makes that more easier to break.
For employers, using biometrics can better protect employees.
It keeps others from, trying to get into their registers or log in or clock themselves in or out by using someone else's number.
As well as protect the company's bottom line and your own personal assets. Noel Wagner, The Associated Press.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.